Hey kiddies, I see that everyone is asking who Jimmy Dore's producer is, and I'm going to get to that because this is all tied together. But first, I wanted to say that this has been a truly sad and uncharacteristic bout of tongue-tiedness for me over the past several months. I'm usually not at a loss for words, especially when I have so much pent-up, real-life stories to tell about the impending collapse of society and how free speech will probably die with a whimper rather than a thrusting lunge executed by American stormtroopers to the pulmonary artery. Fun fact, when I did the Jimmy Dore show last February, I'd just been subjected to multiple visits by the FBI, wherein pro-Trump federal agent Andy Creed, who moonlights at Centerfold Strip Club, I'm not making that shit up, you cannot make it up, you can look it up on wokewindows.org, Andy Creed, Centerfold Strip Club. This FBI agent who moonlights at the strip club approached me in conjunction with the Secret Service to ask me about a promotional trailer that I made with my wife, Lauren Pespisa, for my documentary film 2020 The Dumpster Fire in theaters December. Creed and his cohorts alleged that during their interviews of a Proud Boy in conjunction with January 6th, the idea was put forward that the movie trailer was evidence of a plot to assassinate then President Donald Trump. This is patently absurd, capricious, mendacious, 100% the most foolish accusation leveled at my wife or possibly anyone on the internet. I mean, but just let me explain how this is tied in with Jimmy Dore. Jimmy has interviewed me twice. The first time was with TYT in 2016 to talk about the series of 9 FBI raids by my count conducted by not just the FBI, but other agencies at the RNC. In the case of the 2016 raid on me and my film crew, there were about 20 law enforcement officers, 2 with assault rifles, including the FBI, ICE, Homeland Security, and local police officers. The whole debacle went down first thing in the morning at our friend's house just outside of Cleveland. As I rubbed my eyes and became aware of the federal clown show, knock, 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 coming down on us, I set up GoPros all over the house to make sure we got it all on tape. Within seconds of that, the Gestapo were in the front door demanding drop your pants as I tried to get dressed. Even after we repeatedly gave them explicit instructions that they didn't have permission to come in the house, they did exactly that. So to signal their total disregard for the U.S. Constitution, they even admitted on camera they didn't have a warrant. And that's why they were already inside the house. Finally, they went into my friend's bedroom and forced him to come out at gunpoint. The FBI agents on the scene even went so far as to admit that they raided us. They raided us over nothing because of claims made by Alex Jones in Public Square, Cleveland the previous day. And a quick review of Alex Jones's live feed from that day showed him claiming, "Communists had thrown buckets of urine and feces on me." Totally, utterly false. It's all on video. But it's especially interesting in light of Alex Jones' admission shortly after that on the Joe Rogan show that he'd been working with the Secret Service. Now, you can believe that or not if you want, if he's a disinformation agent, fine, whatever, Alex Jones, but jump to 2 hours, 46 minute and 55 mark on JRE. All that's in the 2016 Jimmy Dore interview. He didn't air it because he didn't care about it. As 2020, the election progressed, Jimmy let me interview him. I met him at a Tulsi rally, or it was some kind of thing that he was a part of with Tulsi. And, I would message him occasionally to kind of let him know what was going on in the streets. And honestly, he retweeted one of my videos at the George Floyd protest. But other than that, didn't feel as though the outrageous police brutality that I was filming on the streets was particularly newsworthy. When I saw his interview with Boogaloo Boy Magnus Bandvidia, I messaged Jimmy to try to set him straight on the issue. To his credit, Jimmy asked me to come on his show and talk about it. And I ended up sitting around in Jimmy's virtual online green room for, there was about 10 minutes. And once again, I tried to tell him about the recent FBI harassment. This was like last February. 2021. Jimmy was totally disinterested, though. He wanted to talk about how the CIA and MI6 were editing his Wikipedia page. If it wasn't about Jimmy, it wasn't news. So things went from self-centered and dismissive to hostile when he heard what I had to say. That was supposed to be the broadcast, which of course he didn't air because he's a chicken shit. But it became clear he was embarrassed that he didn't know who Kyle Rittenhouse was. He didn't know because his producers didn't put it on a cue card. Of course, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial has been top trending news, with Kyle's tearful performance being retweeted all over the internet, Twitter, etc. And of course, Jimmy hasn't said a damn thing about it because he's too busy blaming his producer for the deceptive rewording of COVID news stories that he uses on his show. Jimmy claims he fired his producer over it, and that's what you've come here for. Mark Van Landoit. That's Jimmy's producer, or at least that's what it was when I was on the show. But instead of worrying about that, really, what I want to impress upon you is this FBI shit. I'd like you to consider that my wife, Lauren Pespes, and I are likely going to be indicted for making a documentary film. Journalism should not be a crime, and it would be nice if people would get on board with that. Grand juries were supposed to convene in Massachusetts last February. Realizing this was a politically motivated witch hunt by federal agents, the prosecutor in Massachusetts wisely canceled those grand juries. But hey, undeterred, strip club FBI agent, he went shopping for prosecutors and found an AUSA in Maine who was willing to open new grand juries. Definition of a witch hunt. If you want to learn more about the case, I published a ton over on change.org. I'm going to be doing more on my WordPress and posting regularly on various social media in the days leading up to the grand jury, November 17th. There'll be more on dumpsterfirefilm.com about the film itself. But help us out if you can. This drama with Jimmy Dore, really, it shouldn't be anything. In contrast to what's happening to journalists, documentarians, people around the world trying to make a difference. Federal agents locking up lefties in conjunction with January 6th. That's what's happening to us. It isn't right. Please check it out. The change.org petition, rodweber.com, or rodweber, RODWEBBER, on my various social media. Thanks.
There's more than just smearing going on for us activists in the streets. We got to deal with Secret Service, FBI.
I told them multiple times I did not give them permission to enter. I told them multiple times I did not give them permission to enter, that I was not the homeowner. I just wanted to get absolutely crystal clear. When we get crystal clear.
I mean, we get a search warrant for the places we want.
If you remember the first time we met, it was at the DNC in 2016 after the FBI had raided us with 20 agents and AR-15s. So that's what we're dealing with on this end.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I got the CIA at my six. I got them all coming at me. They're fucking editing my Wikipedia page. They're writing hit pieces in Newsweek and CNN. What the fuck is wrong with this?
You're ready. When he's ready. You got it ready, Michael? Oh, you got it, buddy. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Dore. There you go. You might have to come down just a little bit, Jimmy.
Steph does lint control as well?
Yes, she does.
All right, we're going to start the interview. Stand by, Michael.